Welcome to this GCSE Maths revision video on how to work out averages from a frequency table. As I usually do with revision videos, I'm not setting out to teach you this subject from scratch. It's more of a reminder of the key methods and techniques that you need. So let's get straight into this. This data is the scores that a class received when they did a test. So it's telling us that 5 students scored 6 marks, 8 students scored 7 marks, 4 students scored 8 marks, and so on. So if we were to be asked how many students took this test altogether, that would be a matter of adding up the frequency column and getting the answer 20. Please don't say 5 because there are 5 rows in the table. Yeah, you need to add up the frequency column to answer that question. So, looking at this even more closely, if 5 students scored 6 marks each, then between them they've scored a total of 6 times 5 marks. So when you get presented with a question like this, what I recommend you do is add an additional column, which is made up of the first 2 columns multiplied together. So if you look down there, you can see multiplied score and frequency together. I'll explain that 4th column in a minute, but for now just focus on the 3rd column. Yeah, I've multiplied the first 2 columns together. And so that represents the total number of marks scored for that particular row in the table. Okay. Let's have a look at how mean is calculated from the frequency table. It's going to be the total of our new column divided by the total of the frequency. Now, I already said the total of the frequency was 20. So if we look at this new column, add these values together, give you a couple of seconds to do that. Hopefully you came out with 146. So 146 divided by 20 gives us 7.3. So our mean score is 7.3 marks. When you do this, your answer has to be somewhere between 6 and 10, because 6 was the lowest number of marks scored and 10 was the highest. So if you get an answer outside that range, that suggests you've gone wrong somewhere. Let's now have a look at mode. This is the score corresponding to the highest frequency. So let's look down the frequency column of our table. Highest frequency is 8, and that's telling us that 8 students scored 7 marks. So our modal score is 7. Please don't do what I've seen quite a few times. People find the highest frequency and say that that is the mode. It's not. It's the score corresponding to the highest frequency. Yep. So use your left-hand column here for your mode. So answer of 7 for that. Let's now look at the median. When you've got 20 values, the median is going to be in between the 10th and the 11th values. Remember, when you're finding median and you've got an even number of values, the median always falls between 2 values. So how can we easily find the 10th and the 11th values from a table? That's where this 4th column comes into play. And this 4th column is based on the frequency column. Yeah. Our first 5 values, if we put these in order from smallest to largest, would be the 5 students who scored 6 marks. So our first 5 values would be 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. And then the next 8 values would be 7s. So if the first 5 values are 6s, then values 6 to 13, yeah, those are the next 8 values, are all 7s. Then after those, the next 4 values are 8s. So values 14, 15, 16 and 17 would be 8. And so on. So this running total of my frequency is what I'm going to use to help me work out what the 10th and the 11th values are. And here it's quite straightforward. The first 5 values are 6. The 6th to the 13th values are all 7s. So that means the 10th value is a 7, the 11th value is a 7. So that would make the median 7. Median is probably the trickiest one to work out from the frequency table. Let's have a look at range. This is the highest score minus the lowest score. That means you must be looking at your score column or your left-hand column when you work out range. So if we go back and have a look at this data, the highest score was 10 marks, the lowest score was 6 marks. So highest minus lowest, 10 minus 6 gives you the value 4. So hopefully that helps when it comes to working out averages for a frequency table. That covers the theory, so other than practicing it, that's as much as I can tell you about that. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye.